And yes, welcome one and everyone to Stone Soup Poetry, another weekly gathering, another feature coming up for us. We have Aram Engelhardt, the mastermind of not just the Dead Man Press publishing company, one-man publishing group, but also the Dead Man Press Facebook page, which is a very popular stop for me on my Facebook journey in the morning. As I said online, his memes could easily match that of Jeremiah Walton. If you don't know who Jeremiah Walton is, look him up and friend him. And between him and RM, you're going to have a you'll have a fun one. You'll have a fun morning of memes at poetry's expense. We love it, or at pretentious poets' expense. Either one, or at college poets' expense. Really, the range is the subgenres within the meme genre is limitless. Moreover, he has an event I'm sure he'll tell us about later on and coming up in November. And he also has a book of his that'll be coming out later on. And I can't wait to get my hands on that. So we appreciate his time and we appreciate everyone coming. And as I said earlier, I hope more people are on the way. And we will get started on the open mic. The Ramdinator 5000 has selected our selections for tonight. So it's always a surprise when you're called, and I see a couple people I haven't seen for a while, so this is going to be fun. So thank you guys as I mute some of you. It looks like the Ramdinator 5000 has selected. Ooh, the Ramdinator is very excited for this poet's return. A regular during the live Stone Soup open mics in Cambridge. He's with us tonight. Let's welcome up Eric Nelson. And you have to unmute yourself. There you go.
This one is called Head of an Unknown Man. My cousins have the head of an unknown man under the stairs. And this is not a thing that is not to be taken literally. Like, do you have Prince Albert on a can, or a skeleton in a closet, or that's my last Duchess hanging on the wall? You see, there was a sculptor in the family, and one of her works was a portrait of a person now unidentified. In the house of another relative, there are portraits on a bedroom wall we call the ancestors. They might not have been put back in the same order when the wall was painted. I'm not exactly sure how they are related. I once visited a man who bought some portraits of unidentified people at an antique shop and hung them on his wall and made up names for them. Perhaps they are an intentional family. If family portraits are part of how you know who you are, maybe that guy knows that he is somebody who he isn't. I'll let it go at that because I'm rummaging through a lot of piles of fairly disorganized papers. I was going to do something about writing them into the computer and organizing them when COVID hit and we're housebound, but somehow I didn't. Somehow I managed to make it worse. So that's all for now. Thank you.
Save it for the twin-demic when monkeypox finally outbreaks over here. And they actually mentioned that's the word I first heard over this week, the twin-demic. America, we do things double and more. Anyway, it'll be the Oreo double stuff of pandemic years. Let's go now. Next person on the open mic. Let's welcome up Patricia Kerrigan.
Hi. Okay. In God we trust. Yeah, the Christmas tree. In God we trust. From sea to shining sea, we're the land of the free, home of the brave, Our right ears wear maxi pads. We rally for insurrection and chant the word fight. We raise our fists for the one who almost died for our sins. We love our cowboy heritage, and who cares if you live and die by the gun? To bear arms is as American as Granny's apple pie. Heaven sent him to make America great again. Banned books will feed the bonfire. A barbecue in hell awaits each reader. With blessings from above and the Supreme Court, our King will make it happen. Blessed be the fruit. Roe v. Wade is dead. She will accept God's gift, even die giving life to that babe. We obey the two-gender rule because Eve, not Steve, was created from Adam's rib. She will serve her man till death do they part, and cats must not interfere. In God we trust, he, a white cisgender male, walks the right path. Bless his corporations, and we, his supporters, praise God in America while expecting Amazon to deliver our long-awaited rapture. God bless.
Patricia, that
Thanks
was
for
great.
keeping
You
it
see my
timely,
comment in the
Patricia.
chat.
Well, thank goodness for Kotex and Tampax. Yes. Very nice. Thank you, Patricia, for keeping it timely. Sad to say I haven't written my Trump tampon poem yet. It's almost becoming its own genre. I need to catch up. But I did write my Trump versus Taylor Swift poem, which will be showing up on New Verse News tomorrow morning around 7. So I actually generated original works of art through an AI generator that was actually free online with hilarious results. If anyone wants to link to that, let me know. I think AI is evil, but in terms of what Trump did to create a fake Swifties for Trump art to make it think actual Taylor Swift fans were supporting him, I felt it appropriate.
Yeah, I saw that on TikTok, the
It,
phony shit that was going around.
it's pretty hilarious. I don't think
AI, it's definitely AI generated.
Oh God, yeah.
It's scary what's going on here. We don't know what the hell's AI or not. You gotta look closely.
And worst
I'm
of
not gonna
all,
get into
AI has improved the hands. Like I remember when Scott Adams, the Dilbert guy, was posting images of women saying, "Real women, your days are numbered," posting fake AI images, and like the women had something like 8 fingers on their hand and something like that, where like they're like, "How realistic," or "What are you into, Scott?" But the hands are getting better, so AI is just getting scarier. So, but I dealt with the devil this one time. But let's move on and go to Mr. John Wezek, who I believe has a brand new story for us this week. Or a new poem.
Okay, well, back around 1850 or so, Baudelaire coined this term flaneur for kind of a dilettante who wanders around cities. And since this describes me perfectly, I have a piece for you called Men's Freestyle Flaneur Semifinals. Welcome to the men's freestyle flaneur semifinals, where 2 of today's 6 competitors will go to the finals. Flaneur's tradition goes back to Baudelaire, who coined the term for a dilettante urban wanderer. At the sound of the 9 a.m. buzzer, German Helmut Kriegsmesser is out the door with a compass, topographic map, and guidebook. Despite his early start, there's already a line to buy tickets at the Notre Dame Cathedral. Kriegsmesser looks at the map to decide whether to wait or come back later. Oh, he's staying! America's George Shumway has gotten off to a bad start by booking a hotel far from city center. He's lost in the warehouse district. Can he come back from this behind? On a bold move, Brazil's Paulo Feijoada sits at an outdoor cafe with an espresso and almond croissant. This is his first competition since recovering from fallen arches. He's eager to medal after Hideki Umami edged him out for the bronze in 2020. Canada's Gary Poutine is dogging Kriegsmesser's heels. The German's 12-minute lead is evaporated in the ticket line. At just 20 years of age, Poutine is today's youngest competitor, but youth will not handicap him because the drinking age here is 18. Having stopped for a churro, Mexico's Guillermo Choripan is close behind. A kimchi fried rice or Turkish-stilled beer would have netted him more points, but judges score breakfast lighter than other meals. Shumway is back in the race. He's found a subway station and is struggling with the door. Wait, someone's opening it. Shumway's inside. He's deciphered the ticket machine. He's taking out his credit card. Shumway's on his way. France's Claude Cassoulet sets off in style with a diamond-tipped walking stick. You can't talk flaneur without mentioning Cassoulet, two-time winner of Olympic gold and six-time winner of the World Cup. This is likely to be his last competition, and he's going out in style. Kriegsmesser is in and out of the cathedral in just 20 seconds, leaving Poutine and Choripan behind to admire the stained glass windows. Poutine is out. Choripan remains inside at the confession booth as if he's got something to get off his chest. Fishwada is still at the outdoor cafe. Shumway exits the subway and spots the McDonald's. He's heading inside. A 20-point penalty for Shumway. Wait, Shumway's using the bathroom. He's leaving without buying anything. Great move for Shumway. Cassoulet stops outside a hat shop. He's going in looking at Panama hats. He's talking to the clerk. Cassoulet leaves wearing a Panama hat. Man, that guy's got style. Fishwada motions to the waiter. This could be his move. No, he just ordered another espresso. Kriegsmesser is sprinting through the old city. He's turning left toward the port. Poutine is stopped in the square by the cathedral. He's listening to a guitarist playing cover tunes and doesn't look like he's going anywhere soon. Cassoulet is gesturing to a police officer and pointing to a large chessboard painted on the pie block. They're playing. The policeman is white and Cassoulet is black. Rather than moving the knee-high pieces, Cassoulet points with his cane, and a boy he hired moves them for him. Choripan is out of the church. He's looking in an ice cream shop window. Oh, he's walking away. Judges will take 10 points off for that. But wait, a stray dog has adopted Choripan. He's going back to the ice cream shop. He's buying the dog an ice cream cone. Fishwater is getting up. He's making his move for real this time, and he moves his chair into the shade. A bold strategy for Schwada. Oh no! Back at the chess game, Cassoulet missed a fork that could have taken White's rook. White's pushing his pawn and promoting it to queen. Cassoulet resigns. Shumway made it to Chinatown. He's looking at a bakery. He enters and comes out with a sesame ball and egg custard. Now he's in a tea shop. He passes up pre-packaged boxes to sniff loose leaf tea in the bins. The clerk asks if he wants to try some jasmine tea. Shumway refuses. He's buying Iron Goddess Oolong. There is no stopping him. Shumway's on a roll. He found a produce store and he's buying a bag of mangosteens, the best fruit in the entire world. The fans are on their feet. It's pandemonium. The buzzer sounds and the judges have made their decisions. Shumway and Fishwater are going to the finals.
Wow, how did you keep up that without... Somebody mentioned that you have a third lung? Non-stop. Very good, John.
Now I was rooting for
Man,
Poutine.
he's
being French
superhuman. My
Canadian.
God.
John's ability to sublimate when he shares his work in this series is, I think, kind of unmatched. John's sitting there. We can see him physically sitting in that chair, but he's gone once the first word is uttered.
It's his
John, you
wombat
want me to-
spirit, animal power.
You
The
want me
wombat.
to
The wombat
get
gives
you
him
a,
power.
get you an audition for
Sacred
the announcer
wombat.
from Price is Right?
Oh God.
You know, maybe I can just be Ed McMahon's replacement. That is correct, sir.
Or you can do the disclaimers in these commercials. They have radio commercials. Blah, 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 blah. You read the
Oh, the
disclaimer.
drug
the legal
commercials.
thing?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
the legal
Maybe
disclaimer.
only participating. So yeah.
You'd be
Okay.
good for that.
We have up next, even as our minds are still processing that last one. Thank you, John. We have now Mr. Richard Spizak. Ask him about his new poetry interview series, or maybe you already know. Maybe he's already told you about it. We'll see. Come on up, Mr. Spizak.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, Chad was kind enough to mention I've been doing a series for the last 3 years called The Poets of the East. I interview poets from Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, the Pacific. And it's a chance to hear a little bit behind the scenes, a little bit about the person. As much as I enjoy poets online and the poet scene, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes is not enough. It's a taste. And this is a chance to talk to them and find out what motivates them. And our dear friend Chad is going to be appearing in one. Patricia is appearing in one. And I'll put some links in there. You can watch and listen to the last 3 years of just amazing poets. Here, what I offer you tonight is a little bit of satire. And oddly enough, this is a tribute. One of the candidates, I'm sure none of you know this, but he's been known as a nicknamer. He creates nicknames, and this is a tribute to that. It's called nicknamification. Nicknamification remains elusive, unless, of course, there's some new weird kind of confusion. Recycling old ones is a sure sign of piety, unless, of course, there remains some new significant notoriety. The master himself comes up with each name. And if he doesn't, somehow or other, he'll find someone to blame. It's plain we're sure he's too clever by half, and if you doubt it, well, you're in for a laugh. His haughty magnificence has been clearly established as acknowledged evidence is in, my friend. He's pungent, ruthless, handsome, and dynamic. Clearly, just the sight of his massive, impermeable intelligence, well, not for nothing, he recycles his artful eloquence. His uncle attended MIT. It could happen to you. It could happen to me. Clearly, he's the beneficiary. Shazam! 1, 2, 3. We found in his recycled nicknamification, he's turned away his face from gaudy glorification. All his opponents, it seemed, blend into one. So just in case the headsman axe can do what ultimately needs to be done. However, one master stroke, he could reduce our national trauma and abdicate his would-be kingdom in favor of President Kamala.
Or as Trump likes to call some Kamala, Sleepy Joe. Yeah. She might be running out of it. He might be running out of ideas. Thank you, Mr. Spizak. Next, I'd like to welcome back Jan Rowe, who took some time off last week, along with James Van Loy. Not sure where you went, but it's good to have you back. Or are they back? Jan, are you there? Uh-oh. I think they left. Well, we'll figure that out another time. Let's go to Mr. Robert Fleming while I try and figure out where Jan and James went off to.
Good evening, I'm Robert Fleming, a visual poet from Lewis, Delaware. Tonight I will be sharing some art which was converted into digital graphics. This was one of the original images which I removed the background from. This was a photograph I took over July 4th this summer, and I cropped it and I just isolated the fireworks and put that into a file. This is another graphics file which I started with. I isolated one of the fireworks, which were stars. This was my work. It's called Firework Thing Number 3. And it sort of has a Dr. Seuss form, which I like. This is another image in the series where I took all of the flowers, which were fireworks, and made them different colors. this is another set based on rainbows. In this one, I cropped just selected the rainbow and put that into a file. And then for this image, which I also took the photograph, I just took the gray cloud. So I used cropping. This is the first image I created. It's called Sky Number One. It's black and white. And the two rainbows, I converted them to white color. Here is the same image where I'm using some color. And I also modified the color of the sky from being black and white to being black and grayish blue. Here is another photograph I took over the summer. In this one, I just isolated the rainbow and what was below it. And here is the first image I created. It's called Cloud Sandwich Sky Number 3 Cloud Sandwich. The colors are very muted. This is another variant on that with different colors, which are also on the muted side. And here I changed the colors to be more vibrant, and I rotated the shape. So thank you for letting me share some of my work where I took photographs and selected parts of them and then manipulated them into art with digital graphics using Canva.
Thank you, Robert. Trying to see who we have coming in next. Oh, there you are, Janet. I called on you, but then you kind of went away. Okay, good. You stopped smiling. I thought you were evil wallpaper or something like that. Anyway, if you're willing to read, we're willing to listen.
Uh, yeah. Well, while we're stable, this is just a second draft called "The Lawyer's a Stranger." It's better for a tenant fighting eviction to have a lawyer. The landlord always have lawyers. With using the name Trinity, that corporation should hope there is no God. So I don't recommend going to housing court without a lawyer or access corporations. They used to be satisfied with half my pension. Now the greedy developers that are they want all my pension. If I'm forced to go back to work, I'll have less things. Thank you. I don't even know if I was on.
I turned off your video because you were coming in a little shaky.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to try and
Thank
fix that.
you.
I don't know if you want to try and fix that before James gets on, but we're gonna move on for the moment. Let's see who I can move on to. I got Patricia. Oh, let's go to Christiana if she's interested. Oh, her mouth is full, of course. This is my impeccable timing from my training as a waiter. We'll skip her for the moment and let's go over to Mr. Richard Boucher, sorry.
That's all right. Hey, everybody. This is Rich Boucher. I am from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And this poem is called Reunion in the Dark. No one is saying anything now. Everything's gone quiet in this open air cafe right on the water here in stormy late night Honolulu. In the distance, all of us can barely make out the sound of waves crashing against the shore 20 yards away. All the people seated at the dozen or so tables here are frozen in motion, except for the few who can actually see me. Ashlyn Gear saunters over to me, completely drenched with my imagination, looking exactly like she did on the VHX box cover photo of the 1992 adult film Water Babies, where she co-starred with PJ Sparks and Melanie Moore in a delightful exploration of robust sexuality. She asks me if I would watch her beer, because she's got to go pee and she's by herself, and sometimes the order of things we are asked to do or watch doesn't make sense and isn't what we really want, but I tell her yes, and 6,000 golden doves, all of them liars and degenerates, escape my mouth, and a scream escapes from my pants, and this is exactly when I realize I'm asleep and dreaming. And when you realize you are dreaming, that's when you're close to being really awake. And I'm saying that not just as me, but also as my country. Far across the cafe from us, George Burns, dressed exactly the way he was 25 minutes into the 1977 film Oh God, co-starring John Denver and Terry Garr, waves his cigar at me with obligatory approval of both how I am feeling and also of how I conducted myself as a gentleman with Ms. Gear. Just then, a maitre d' brings me the house phone, black, with a cradle like 1961, because a call has come for me. It's my mother, even though she died, sounding exactly the way she did on that day a month before cancer took her when, in the kitchen, she just blurted out that she loved me out of nowhere. On the call at the cafe, she had that exact same tone of voice as she asked me what I was doing in a place like that when I had bigger and more important responsibilities to attend to. She always made me feel like I had so much more growing up to do, even if she cared. As I'm hanging up the phone, I hear an argument at the bar. Maura, the beautiful dark-haired Irish girl who rescued me from pointless, clueless virginity and loved me, looking exactly as she did under the stars on the walk we took that night at the University of Massachusetts next to my dorm room, wearing the same sultry Coco by Chanel perfume she wore then, same exact perfect curves and freckled skin, is fighting with the bartender, who is also Father Bob, the 50-something Catholic priest my parents were friends with, the hip and chill priest who smoked and drank with mother and father. It seems Father Bob charged her double for her vodka and tonic. I am about to get up and go to the bar to see if I can help when I hear something familiar and horrible on the PA system at the cafe. It's the sound of air escaping my mother's body when the EMTs carried her out of our kitchen the night she died. My father told us kids to stay in the den so we wouldn't hear anything, but I wanted to see if I could try to make myself useful for once in my life. So I opened the door just as she was being carried out in the crinkly black polyvinyl bag. And I heard her breath leave. The very last moan she'd give out on this earth. Her body's final moan didn't sound exasperated with me. It sounded like the word pain slowed way down. A final crying that she was ready for the heaven she'd heard so much about. Hearing this on the PA system bolted me to my seat. I couldn't even finish my pina colada and still can't right now. And now, no one is saying anything. Everything's gone silent in this open-air cafe right on the water here in Honolulu. In the distance, all of us can barely make out the sound of waves crashing against the shore 20 yards away. If you find this, please tell everyone that I didn't mean any harm, honestly, except for the times that maybe I did. Thank you.
Wow. Amazing.
Excellent work.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to move now to Marianne Honecker and Cheryl Rice or Christiana. If you do want to read or recite, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'll go on to the next, I think the final two people. But for now, let's hear Marianne.
I'm not sure if I've read this one here before. It's called We Walk on the Earth. We walk on the earth, and the earth reaches up to fill our footprints. It takes them in, a heartbeat among other heartbeats. Zeno of Elea baffled his neighbors when he ran down the street shouting, "All is one." I stop and the fallen leaves cradle my shoe. Leaves cackle when you pass over them, and moss speaks so quietly one would think it mute. I sink down. Einstein said the universe is finite. That has no borders. You and I are fields of energy. Our borders are an illusion. Everything is one. Was this what Einstein meant? I step among the dappled trees, and I am dappled too. The leaves play a melody over my face. The trees, connected by their root systems, the great being that is the forest, knows that I am here. I like to touch the moss. It is soft and often damp. The earth has grown hair. If I could pull back to the height of the tallest tree, I could see the pattern it makes. I breathe and the trees breathe. We exchange breath. A bird hides itself by hopping to the opposite side of a tree's trunk. It releases its minute peep, calling down the mountain instead of up. I am on the mountain's backbone. It sighs and the trees vibrate almost unnoticeably. The little bird is the universe. The bird and I aren't on opposite sides of a tree. The tree, the bird, and myself are one. Last year, the neighboring mountain was on fire. The fire, like a ghost, could not cross the river, but the other mountains felt the heat, and the whole forest trembled. I become one with the earth I walk on. Our energies touch and merge. Language collapses. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Now, is it safe to assume that Cheryl doesn't want to read? I didn't get any. Okay, I'll just take that as a no, as well as from Christiana. And thanks for staying here to listen. And now we'll go to Mr. Edward S. Galt and ask him about his new book, Airhead and Other Poems, which I'm very grateful to have a copy of from Red or Green Books.
Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy those. I'm going to read a piece now. I'm going to tentatively call White Nights and Black Nights. It's a rough draft. The title will probably change, but I think it has to work its way up to rough draft. Anyway, here it is. And it will, I'll read it again when it improves a little bit, but I want to just run it past you tonight. Those were the days you had stars in your eyes. Every time I saw you, you had that light and warmth there. You wrote the best letters with the details of our love, all the ways you held me up like a knight in a fairy tale, a white knight in a fairy tale. Those were magic years, evening walks and lit fountains, gondola rides on the Esplanade. Except there was weather that night, and we never got to do that ride. I guess the disappointments add up after a while. Those last years you saw me as a foreigner, or not at all. Everything I did was a part of a dark plan. I was a narcissist, a manipulator, the Black Knight. You said you wished we had never met, even after we raised our child. These days, you don't even speak to me and haven't for years. Thank you very much. That was White and Black Knights.
Thank you, Mr. Galt. And now looks like we have one more person to take it to, just to end off our open mic before we get to our speaker in the shadows. I love him staying up the drama. And let us go now to Mr. James Van Loy, who I'm hoping has better connection this time around. As he and Jen are using the same connection. James, are you there?
A piece here by John Wieners from his book, A Superficial Estimation, by John Wieners, who was this incredible character who Jack did everything he possibly could to support for years because he just lived up there on top of Beacon Hill and was pretty isolated. And there's actually some pictures of them together in the North End just before they passed away. So here is it's called Polynesian. A little more is written.
We lost him. He's not here.
I know. I just searched.
It's
Feel bad for
the
that.
connection is very bad.
It's
Unless it's their Wi-Fi or whatever.
it's usually excellent, but it's oh no.
Oh, he's coming back on.
Yeah, but I have a feeling he doesn't know he dropped out. And it looks like he dropped out again. All right, we'll have to move on for the sake of our feature in the audience. I do apologize. Hopefully their connection is usually excellent, so I'm not sure what exactly happened, but we will hopefully they can look into that and figure it out. So, quick reminder, Stone's Throw is hoping to get published by September. The issue of the zine, actually our feature was a contributor to the last zine, Aim for the Thoughts and Prayers. And we're hoping to get a couple more people for Unalive the Algorithm, which is the anti-internet or more effectively anti-social media zine, or just commentary on social media. I mean, it'd be kind of hypocritical to say all social media should die, because if it weren't for Facebook, we'd be having this. But some of you have already sent me pieces. I thank you for that. And I'm looking for a couple more while we wait for my artist to come back from Spain. And
Is there a particular theme for this Stone's Throw?
just basically like comments on the internet and and feeling lost in the internet world.
Okay.
Basically, what's it like to walk through life feeling shadow banned?
Okay.
What if all your friends are bots? Just things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully,
Or what if your connection to Zoom is spotty?
or in my thoughts, what if the social media people are subtly changing and touching on their images and tweaking them just to try and get you to kill yourself because this is all you rely on, which is my paranoid.
Pretty
Or I'm
soon
sorry,
we'll
to
be
unalive
AI.
yourself.
We're gonna pretty soon all be AI.
There we go.
We're not gonna
Look,
be
12 fingers. No, no way. Wait, you can. I can't pull back enough yet. Oh my God. But thank you. But and hopefully there'll be some more calls for submissions posted on the Facebook wall. Depends on how much I can get done. I have to go take a trip tomorrow, and it looks like I have to take the earliest possible boat out to give you a hint of where I'll be. But I'm not going for as long, but I gotta go. But hopefully I'll be keeping up with Oddball with the snow and keeping up with posting the snowsuit video tomorrow and giving up with our update. That's what I'm hoping for. But and hopefully more news coming up regarding the Boston Poetry Marathon and other such things. But anyway, let us get to our feature tonight, who's been waiting very patiently. For anyone who has not been here before, we meet every Wednesday from 7 to 9 tentatively online, and with hopes for a live show sometime into late 2024, 2025. Fingers crossed. Our feature tonight is someone who, if not for the internet, I have to say, I would never have known of his existence. Mr. R.M. Engelhardt, who, in the words of his boilerplate, is a poet, writer, and author whose work over the last 30 years has been published in such journals as Thunder Sandwich, Full of Crow, Rusty Truck, Writers Resist, Dry Land, Rye Whiskey Review, Hobo Can't Review, Black News, and many others. He currently lives and writes in upstate New York and has been the editor of Dead Man's Press Inc., a small indie poetry press publishing poet since 1998. His new book, And Here We Go, is coming out soon via Amazon.com, also a product of Dead Man's Press. And furthermore, this November, he will be hosting the nationwide poetry live streaming event, Poets Against the Extinction of America, featuring poets from everywhere taking social media over from on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. An event, as he describes it, and gathering of small press indie poets. And I'm looking very forward to that, to witnessing that and participating any way I can on whatever small level. And for anyone who does not know yet, Dead Man's Press Inc. is a wonderful little poetry page. He runs a tight ship, but encourages everyone to not just post their own work or links to their work, but also comment and let people know that they're being seen and heard. I appreciate his tight ship running ability, and I appreciate the work that he posts on that site and elsewhere. And I appreciate his contributions to the last Stone's Throw, and I appreciate him coming here to give a little taste of the old school Bukowski ways, which Stone Soup is also ensconced in as much as the Beats back from its 1970s roots. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Engelhardt. About 30-40 times.
Thank you for the invite, Chad. I here sitting in Albany, New York. I had my sunglasses. Well, these are my reading glasses, but it was so bright in here when we started that I needed them because I thought I was going to be reading. So I had to switch to these. My eyes, in the age of social media and with computers and stuff, my eyes don't do so good. So I do have some poems to share with you. Otherwise, yeah, Albany Poets was the original group, and Dead Man's Press Inc. was another idea I had years ago in '98 as an offshoot for a small press. And it was with the idea of pretty much noir. I was a little more gothic back then, so to speak. There were a lot of like different clubs and everything, industrial punk, goth. And so it's still up and running, which is quite surprising me in life because we have so many things that else, otherwise come into our lives and like work and marriage, all those things. So I'm glad to be here and thank you. How many poems do you need, sir? Oh,
However,
Chad,
however you like. We a lot of people poets read up to like 20, 30 minutes. If you have a clear set in mind, that's great as well.
okay. Well, I'm going to read a few political pieces as well as some non-political pieces because, quite frankly, uh, roughly 7 years ago, Donald Trump, all this stuff, we were free from it. So, I mean, now we can't even imagine our lives without having to deal with this crap every day. You go on the internet, doesn't matter where you are, whether it's at work, whether it's on Facebook, and it's constant. It just keeps going and going. And I'm really surprised, actually. I'm surprised the guy didn't bail out after the 4 years that he was in office. But in that time, back in 2016, I was creating a group already on Facebook called Stand Against Trump. And we had something like, I think it was 600 people who posted poems on Facebook against Trump all at the same time one night. And that was held in November of that year as well. And that was before he was elected. And well, apparently those poems possibly, they were very strong and everybody was posting, but coming up this year, we're going to need for this new event, resistance poets against the extinction of America. We're going to need a lot more poets. And now we have a lot more places, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So I never meant to become a poetry social media guru, so to speak, or to even go in that direction necessarily, but sort of with the times and everything, it's forced my hand. So I got a few poems in regards to Donald and a few poems that aren't. So let's get the Donald poems out of the way, shall we? I'm gonna read a piece called Nero's Psychologist. I don't have any more time to waste on Nero. He's a hopeless case, a delusional lunatic with teenage boy fans wearing ugly red hats with third grade education levels of intelligence and no teeth, angry because their lives have amounted to nothing. And somehow he gets all his rich friends to pay for his sessions, crimes, and actions with threats and hate, treating him like a baby who soils himself frequently, taking actions like sad parents, trying to cover up and bury his behavior like a pile of dog shit in the park. Blind fools who watch too many reality TV shows and who are maladjusted to what's sanity, fucked eternally in the head, and now damaged for life. So no, I don't have any more time to waste on Nero. There's no cure for this case, no redemption for his crimes. My diagnosis is that they should chain him in a dark basement without food, water, or interaction, and let nature take its course. a professional and wise decision for a secure humanity, a secure world. Because on the sofa, he talks about himself burning down cities and taking revenge. And once, when I asked him about his consequences, he said, I am God and everything belongs to me. It's mine. Laughing about how he owns everything and everyone as he slurred and drooled his words and rambled on endlessly about other human beings of different races and immigrants being of less value than others. And as a psychologist, I've only seen a case like this once before in a patient named Adolf Hitler, who had a fetish for burning things like people, human beings. So no, I don't have time to waste. And it's my prognosis that we all get the fuck out of the place before it's late. That was one of my happier poems, by the way, just to let you know. And I think this is poetry, the history of reading poetry, that someone's gone from the sect of Hitler to Jack Kerouac. I might be wrong on that, but this is called Jack Kerouac's Flannel. I bought a flannel shirt after years of just wearing black, looked in the mirror, and saw visions of Jack Kerouac sitting all alone in an old cabin on the road. As much as Jack's words, I soon realized that the flannel wasn't dark or sarcastic enough for my generation and was far too old, bright, hopeful, and magical to find the words to say. In an age where no one finds the right verses or even the mysterious materials or the mystery of Zen. So I donated it to the Salvation Army, hoping that maybe some young writer might find it and once again change the world. I think I'm going to go with this one. This is an old poem, actually, from a book I came out with in 2012, which was called The Resurrection Waltz. And this poem is called Saint Poem. Broken. Like the words, or like the poem, or like the man who lost his favorite song, his muse, his wife, his dog. And if it ain't gonna walk, it begs, it crawls, and eventually dies alone. Slow, solitary, old and torn up, screaming like some bloody, blood-drenched heart, a sonnet that once ached, breathed, screamed in life, a history, ancient war, a ghost echo, still heard by soldiers, shell-shocked and fucked up by the night, whispering, dreaming, secretly, for sirens, wives, mothers, but never for gods. But only for what remains and what is good and what is right. And lo, though I walk through the valley of despair, I still hope that there are some cigarettes there, or corpses, celebrities with new boots, write about on writing paper, inspirational travelogue of the damned, of poems, as somewhere in all of their nightmares, flying horses falter at the dome, And there are too many stars in the sky, the fireflies no longer seen, lost and forgotten, and too full of beauty. So, dear diary, Saint Poem, please see me through another day, and may to thee I pray that the words still flow like the river, like life, life shit, the voice of old poems, mythic poems, death poems, haikus, happy poems, cones, my poems exist to worship nothing but the poem itself. For in the beginning there was heaven and earth, intellectual monkeys and Neanderthals in berets, and they all prayed to you. Saint Poem, Saint Muse, oh, speak to thee like a third eye transmission from heaven or hell, savior of writer's block, guardian of the ancient word. Please, I pray, send me another terrible lay, an angry muse or an interesting day, or even a sunset dressed in black. Something, anything to write about except you. Saint Poem, Saint Poem, Saint Poem. Thank you. Let's go with this one here. The newer piece, and it's called A Raker of Dust, a Rattler of Bones. An unknown author once said that the world is a dying world of fragmentation and of despair, thus making the poet, the writer, the raker of dust, the rattler of bones. Unlike the shaman, the very last of their kind, all lost, gone. The poets, the dreamers, all dead and buried before the end of the 21st century, with no magic, no purpose, no words, all myth, all lore, detached and destroyed in the chaos. That is life, that they call progress. The prophets have left the building. Are there ghosts at funerals? Mine eyes doth see an apparition in the fire, which was once me, dead and unburied, in a constant state of a dream of a beloved angel, transfiguration within these two places, awake. Of heaven remains, waiting for my love in a field of roses, waiting for the hour of her warm embrace. But here, there is only this, these things which matter, a heaven, a stream of fleeting moments, forever all beauty released from the dusk. So I just wanted to say that basically we are a group on Facebook, Dead Man's Press Inc., Albany, New York, and all poetry, all forms are welcome. And Chad, yep, we do have some rules. We have a 2 poem a day rule, which actually and surprisingly, just 2 poems a day and appreciate other people's work. And on Facebook, even that is difficult, apparently, for some poets. So we've actually had to, over time, give warnings to poets posting more than 2 poems a day. No, well, yeah, but like you have events and you have poems, chat. So, I mean, here we're talking about people just like all of a sudden you look and they've posted literally 6 poems in one day on your page. And so yeah, unfortunately I had to make rules, and that has apparently offended some poets. So but it's a great group. I encourage you to join, and it's just about enjoying people's poetry. So on that note, some of those poets who I've had words with, I've been on Facebook way too long, and I've dealt with too many trolls and too many people that are just, yeah. So I'm like done with that. I'm just far too old to deal with it anymore. Yeah. So you got it. So what I've done is basically I've tried to make a place for poetry for everybody, but unfortunately, everybody doesn't just want poetry, or for that matter, just to post poetry. 2 poems, come on, well, 2 poems, that's it. Anyways, so that's given me a little bit of anger over time, I'll be honest. So uh I have, yeah, me too. I did get poets mad. Good for you. So this poem is, as Marvin the Martian would say, very angry. Okay. Your muse has died of boredom. See the media buried in its own shit, its own grave 1,000-fold. The kids are all at it again. No longer shopping in the dark corners of the department store, looking desperately for inspiration. You see, first came Jesus, then Sinatra, then Elvis, and then, well, what the, maybe you should check your local library. There's a section they call poetry, the real stuff, full of strange, eccentric people of color, black, white, male, female, and even more. Because it's hard to find anything new or original in a world that keeps trying to sell you out and sell you the same old shit. You see, there was once this guy named Whitman who walked into a pile of leaves, and a woman named Emily, who no one ever heard of. And then they both walked into a bar, and, well, I guess you'll have to read something to figure out all the rest. Something beautiful that can't be bought or sold ever. Chad, thank you for having me. And I enjoyed listening to everybody else's work. And like I said, there's plenty of poetry. Thank you. There's plenty of poetry groups out there. And we would very much love to have you in ours. Only 2 poems each, though, a day. Thank you.
Deep breaths. You'll get through it. You'll get through it, people. It's after the second poem. But thank you so much. Give it up for Mr. R.M. Engelhardt. What does the R.M. stand for? I wasn't able to figure that out.
Robert and Michael.
Ah, gotcha.
These
Gotcha.
poets,
Well,
these
thank you
poets
very
for
much.
whom two,
Oh, go on, Richard. Sorry.
I was just going to say these poets for whom 2 is not enough. I would guess those are the grateful, the ungrateful dead.
Oh, God. And
What
that's
I
not the
love is
first. Oh, go on.
go ahead. I was going to say, I just recently had a guy who I enjoyed his work and everything, but he kept putting more and more poems up there, like, come on, it's like, really. And he got mad and he wrote an angry poem at me with lyrics, kind of like, not lyrics, but I would say probably verses about how he's Thanos and he's all powerful and has, like, if you're familiar with the universe and stuff, it's like, what are you, 12 years old? I mean, come on, really? So yeah, he's not there anymore. No Thanos poems in the group either. Okay, there we go.
I get the mansplainers.
Well, keep on doing the good work, Robert, and I appreciate everything you do. And you're more than welcome to cross promote with the Stone Soup group as anyone is. There's many poets that you can reach in the Boston area, and I know there's a ton of people who would be interested in hearing about your November event. I'll be trying to keep people abreast of it as well. But definitely keep us posted, and definitely let us know when your book is out. If there's another book we can grab on Amazon just to support you, let us know. And if there's a Venmo or a PayPal we can contribute to, we would love to do that also. So you're more than encouraged. You're more than welcome to do that. Oh, and he's gone. Okay, man, everyone's like, the minute I said, "Hey, book," oh, there he is. Um, Boy, everyone's jumping off here. I'm telling you, it's a system, man. It's a conspiracy. I don't know what's going on, but let us know if there's any you can send them to me directly via Facebook Messenger or here if you have any Venmo or PayPal, Cash App, or if you have a book that's also on Amazon that has come out, but we'll keep watch on the book on Amazon, and maybe we can grab it. We'll look forward to sharing it. And you're more than welcome to come back to Snow Soup anytime. As I tell all the poets, I try to. We get a lot of New York poets, a lot of poets all up and down the East Coast these days. Not as many of the West Coast, but that's usually because of time difference. So we like the inclusivity of the group. What I hope it is inclusivity, and I hope we all stick together as the next few months come. It seems like a big rock concert now. Now that Granddad's getting put out to pasture, and essentially, but I hate to put it that way, but Jesus, it's like America got tired of having a new dad every 4 years, and now we want something a little bit different. But
Thank
being
you.
that was the line from Bill Hicks one time. We was talking about people like always saying, you know what Rush said about Limbaugh said about NAFTA? You know what Rush said? And he literally goes, "What are you all looking for a fucking new dad? Grow the fuck up." But um, thank you, Patricia. No guarantees, so stick together, get out and vote,
Yeah.
and treat each other as best you can. And oh, he's rebooting according to RM. But maybe he'll be back, maybe he won't. But I would do encourage you all to keep abreast. Oh, and Patricia, while I'm waiting to see if RM comes back, you have a new journal that's coming out or some kind of new haiku thing, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be posting it. Oh goodness. Oh dear, I didn't post it, put in a link. It's okay. You're part of my Substack group, right?
Yes.
I'm posting all over the goddamn place. I'm posting on Facebook.
I'll repost it. I'll repost it on Stone Soup tomorrow. So no worries.
Yeah, I just too much. I just everybody wants to go home. I don't blame them. Well, it
No, I
starts.
understand. It's been I have to get up early tomorrow. Like if I'm optimistic, I can get up at 2, if not 4 o'clock. Then I got a lot to do. But I'm so glad that we had this tonight. I'm so glad to get another dose of Bukowski, which I think has kind of been lacking in the overall aesthetic of the group. And Bukowski's a big one. You know, it didn't get mentioned much in academics, but it does have did have a presence in Stone Soup that's kind of drifted away. And I wanted to kind of bring it back with RM and with Dan Fior from a month back and a ton of other poets. So hopefully that won't be the last injection. And hopefully in September, we're going to have some nice homecomings and some other people from old school Stone Soup coming back. Hope to announce a lot. I'm hoping after this weekend I can go to bed on a regular Sunday, not having risk a nervous breakdown, and hopefully we can proceed as planned for the rest of the year. There's
Well, he's
RM
coming
again.
back. Yay.
What was that?
He's coming back on,
He's
Engelhardt.
come. Yeah, I saw him. So at least now that he is back, and hopefully his video can come up, we can bid you all farewell and hope to be joined by new friends in the coming weeks and old friends, and hope to keep the group going as an entity, whether online or in person. So the obligatory wave, and all of you take care of yourselves. We will see you next time. Thanks for coming today, and thanks so much to RM, to Robert
Bye.
Michael Engelhardt, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, see
Take
you next
care,
Bye.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Go to
Bye.
bed. It's the end of summer. We're all wiped.
I'm trying to drinking coffee to keep myself awake. I got things to do tonight.
Feel better. We'll talk soon. Night, everyone.